To understand how mulch works, I've come to this hilltop to explain to you this magical process. All around me you can see leaf litter that's accumulated over many, many years. This is the forerunner to mulch. This leaf litter will gradually build up over many, many years and create an insulation layer. But at the same time as insulating the soil from heat and from cold, it's gradually decomposing. This is nature's mulch, and I think it's a great idea for us to start out by emulating nature. And here is the leaf litter. This is the leaves from previous years, and as you can see, it's very light, and it's also very clean to the touch. There's lots of different mulches. Here behind me in the woodland, you can see that the mulch is made out of leaves and some twigs. But the mulch that we buy in garden centres and stores is made up of wood. It's made up of bark, or it's made up of the internal part of the tree, the hardwood. And there's a very big difference there. Bark mulch will decompose. Sometimes the interior of the trees that gets chopped up will take a lot longer to decompose. So when you're talking about mulch, make sure that you know that distinction. Here you can see an end profile of a tree trunk. This has been cut down for quite some time, and it started to decompose and split. Right here is the center of the tree with the beginning of the growth rings, and as you move out you can see that there's a great big crack around here where it's opened up. This is probably due to heating and cooling with the sunshine. But the most important thing is what's not here, and that is that all of the outer bark has decomposed back into the soil. And if we come around here and dig, here is that beautiful decomposed organic matter. This is what we want. So if you leave your organic matter long enough on your garden, it'll decompose, and this is how plants can use it. The nutrients can be released back to the soil. Mulch is a byproduct of the lumber industry. Here you can see logs at the lumber yard prior to having the bark removed. Once it's removed, it is shredded and blended and packed in bags or sold in bulk. This is a texture of very common pine bark mulch. As you can see here, there's large and small particles mixed together. This is pine nuggets. It's a much coarser mulch, and as you see here, it's devoid of the smaller particles. Shredded pine mulch has a very different texture. As you can see here, the elongated strands help it bind together. Next you have colored mulch. You either love it or you hate it. I'm not a fan of the colored mulch. I don't see the point in adding a chemical to color the mulch that has got no benefit to plant growth. Using organic matter in a garden setting is very popular. It's a tradition. But there's different types of organic matter. Up here on top of the hill, the organic matter layer is the foliage. It rots down. Now we in a garden setting, we can use hay, we can use straw, we can use lawn clippings, we can use bark mulch, or we could use hardwood mulch. They are all organic matter. They're all different sources of organic matter that make up the generic term mulch. Use a finer grade mulch to cover drip lines and also to place around the base of smaller plants. Mulch is great for our plants. It reduces weeds, it reduces the reliance on artificial water, it puts nutrients back into the soil. But the problem is that if some is good, most people think that more is better. Please avoid excessive piles of mulch, also known as mulch volcanoes. Poor use and excessive applications of mulch are visible wherever we go. And just because we see it so often makes us think that this is how it should be. And that's just not the case. Use mulch properly and your plants will thrive. So when adding mulch to your garden, just remember how the leaves accumulate at the bottom of the tree in a forest. They gently decompose, the layer is not too thick, and it releases its nutrients back to the plants.